Unless you see it, you wouldn't believe it.
The smell in here is so horrendous. It's just unbelievable. The conditions in here are just horrendous.
Things on this property are actually kind of freaking me out. I mean, there's just so many. I mean, whatever it is, clearly suffered a horrible death.
It's just a horrible way to live. There are sharp edges coming out from everywhere. There's no way for them to escape the muddy ground. A lot of them don't have any access to water. There's feces all over the place. A lot of them look to be older dogs, which means they probably have lived their whole life this way. And they're all just covered in feces. They're living in filth.
No animal deserves this kind of treatment. This is absolutely horrific. These animals are living in just misery and squalor, and many of them are in pain.
I think the first thing the dog would say, any one of them here, is, get me out of here now. Anything's got to be better than this.
Look at this dog. This dog has become one with the cage. A combination of urine, feces, mud, and dirt.
You'd think that with all the chaos out here with us coming in and pulling these animals out, there'd be a lot of barking, but these dogs have just succumbed to death. I mean, they are ready to die. They've given up a long time ago, and until they know that they're actually, for the very first time, going to have the opportunity to be dogs. Dogs they were never given the opportunity to be.
The video you just watched is a puppy mill. To quote the animal groups, there are an estimated 15,000 puppy mills in the United States alone. In these mass productions, dogs are forced to produce litter after litter of puppies that supply mostly 100% of the pet stores you shop at. These dogs are forced to have more puppies than their body can handle. My name is from Gabriella and Lindsay. Our speech topic is the nonprofit animal welfare organization Humane Society of the United States. Like the puppies you just saw, there are thousands of animals across our nation and essentially across other countries that are mistreated and homeless. Organizations like the Humane Society aim to fight animal cruelty and essentially save those thousands of four-legged lives. In the time we take to watch this presentation, you will hear a brief history of the Humane Society, the top 5 reasons to adopt an animal, and you're going to know how to do that. Maybe even from close to Humane Society here in Corpus Christi. We would also like you to keep in mind that while you are benefiting yourself and the animal that you choose to adopt, you're benefiting the organization as well. Any monetary donation or adoption fee that you put forward is used for other shelter animals and other animals in need to be rescued. By adopting a pet today, you are freeing up a space for another animal to be rescued and given a second chance at life. So let's start from the beginning. To essentially break down the mission statement of the Humane Society, I will now quote portions of it from an article by David Green and Joe. This quote is, "We work to reach and to create meaningful social change for animals by advocating for sensible public policies, investigating cruelty and working to enforce existing laws, educating the public about animal issues, joining with corporate animal-friendly policies, and conducting programs that make ours a more humane world." A little history: in the 1800s, the humane movement really began. Back in these days, animals were really not really cared about. They were seen as work equipment, something that's there to get the job done. They weren't seen as more along the lines of the family tractor. either drown them or starve the animal. Now imagine those puppies you were watching a few minutes ago. Imagine this happening to them. And it's just awful. It wasn't until the mid-1860s started protecting animals. This particular organization was the American Society for the Prevention of Cruelty of Animals, ASPCA. You might recognize the name ASPCA from all those TV commercials that have the sad music and the sad puppy faces, and they're essentially just trying to get you to donate money to save animals as well. In 1954, that's when the Humane Society of the United States was founded to further prevent animal cruelty and slaughterhouses like our local Sam King. Again, from the Chasewood article, the Humane Society, the largest in America, and spends its time studying animal legislation, lobbying, and attempting to change laws that allow for animal cruelty and laboratory testing, fashion design, and other industries. You can help them out by adopting.
That was some history of the organization, and now I will talk about the top 5 reasons why you should adopt. Number 1, if you adopt, you will save a life. According to the Humane Society of the United States website, around 2.7 million dogs and cats are euthanized each year because too many people give up on their pets and very few people adopt them from shelters. Because there is a limited amount of space at shelters, the staff has to make a decision to euthanize animals who have not been adopted. The number of animals euthanized can be reduced if people adopted pets then bought them. By adopting from the Humane Society, you will help save two lives of the animals, a pet you adopt and a homeless animal somewhere who can now be rescued because of the space you helped free up. Number 2, when you adopt, you get a healthy pet. The shelter examines and gives vaccination to the animals when they arrive and spay or neuter them before being adopted. It is a common misconception that animals end up in shelters because they have been abused or done something wrong, when in fact most animals are sent because of people reasons like divorce, a move, lack of time, or financial constraints. Number 3, adopting will save you money. It is much less expensive adopting a pet than buying a pet because animals from shelters are already spayed, neutered, and vaccinated. Number 4, adopting a pet will make you feel better. Not only do animals give you unconditional love, but it has been shown that they are psychologically, emotionally, and physically beneficial. Pets can help your physical health as well. Spending time with your animal can help lower a person's blood pressure, cholesterol levels, and things like dog walking, grooming, and petting can increase physical activity that can help strengthen your heart, improve blood circulation, and slow the loss of bone tissue. Pets aren't just good friends, they improve a person's well-being. Number 5, if you adopt, you won't be supporting puppy mills and pet stores. Like the video you saw in the beginning, puppy mills are factory-style breeding facilities that put profit above the welfare of a dog. Most animals are housed in poor conditions with bad medical care. Parents of puppies are kept in cages to breed over and over again, with no human companionship and little hope of ever going with a family. After they are no longer profitable, they are either killed, abandoned, or sold at an auction. Puppy mill puppies are sold to consumers in pet stores, over the internet, and even in the newspaper. Many of the puppies have serious behavioral and health problems that might not be apparent for months, and it can cost thousands of dollars to treat them, if they're treatable at all. A quote from an article called Breeding Grounds for Abuse says, many puppy mill operators behave like hoarders who've forgotten how to properly care for other creatures. They don't see what's really going on in front of them, like dogs crawling with fleas, sitting in their own pee or poop, empty water bowls, and animals slowly starving. Puppy mills will continue to operate until people stop purchasing from them.
Taking action. Now I am going to describe the 4 steps of the adoption process. Step 1, explore the pets available for adoption. Not only can you go in person, but you can also go online to look at the adoption list. Step number 2, visit an adoption center to meet potential pets. Once you found a pet that you are interested in, contact a staff member about visiting with the pet. Family members should try to interact with the pet to ensure the pet is compatible with everyone in the household. And if all goes well, schedule a visit with the pet you wish to adopt. Step number 3, complete an application and an interview. You must agree to the policies to begin the adoption process as well as fill out an adoption form. One of the staff members will review key policies and will provide you with all the helpful info you need on the pet you are wanting to adopt. Staff will also review any medical information relevant to the pet you have chosen to adopt. They will also explain services available to adopters and finally collect the adoption fees. Step number 4, welcome your new family member home. The Humane Society offers many services such as a behavior helpline, a behavior library, pet training and playgroups, pet boarding, pet supplies, and events you and your pet can attend together. In conclusion, local governments are trying to enact local ordinances to dampen the market for puppy mills, but you can also help. Not only are you helping yourself when you adopt an animal, but you're also helping the Humane Society and all of the animals rescued. Now we are going to show you a video about the happy endings created when you adopt from the Humane Society.
There's a lot of things I've seen in my life that I can't do something about. I thought, this one, we got to do something about. I've just never seen this many dogs tied up on short leads, no shelter, basically no food on some of them, no water.
Today we're in White County, Arkansas, assisting law enforcement with the removal of quite a few animals from an alleged cruelty and neglect situation. This is their life, living in mud, and this little puppy is just grateful to have a tiny cat full of water. They're innocent little babies, so it's very sad. It seems like with every step we take and with every corner that we make, we see another litter of puppies. And the female dogs obviously have been bred just time after time again. This is where she gets out of the heat, under a lawnmower. Oh my God, there's fleas all over her and all over the puppies. These poor babies are just living in squalor. Once we get our hands on them, we'll be able to tell more about them, but their living conditions certainly leave something to be desired. The animals that we have found today were so dehydrated that we needed to give them emergency fluids on scene before we could even start the exam. What really would break my heart is if we weren't out here and that's how they had to spend the rest of their lives.
Oh, how's that feel? Want some air conditioning? Let's go get you some air conditioning. All right.
Today was great. We rescued 94 animals from the property today, 25 cats and 69 dogs. God, baby.
It was so neat to walk by the trailer, see them loaded up, and knowing they're going to a better place. And if it wasn't for people like you coming out and doing this, where would the animals be? So I'm totally grateful. And I think there's a lot of people out there who would be.